The 2-4 South Point Pointers traveled to Phil Davis Field at Panther Stadium to take on the 0-6 Chesapeake Panthers. South Point was looking for its first win since Week 3, while Chesapeake is looking for its first win of the season. The Pointers would start the scoring early, as in their first drive. They would march down the field and cap the drive off with a Landon Vance touchdown run. But the Panthers would not go down without a fight, as on the ensuing kickoff, Jaden Washington would take the kick back to the house. But a doink off the upright on the PAT would help keep South Point's lead. And on the next drive, South Point would be shut down on a 4th and goal to give the Panthers the ball back. But the Pointers' defense would force a fumble just 2 plays later, and South Point would not let this field position go to waste, as Robert Napier would punch the ball in for the score. The second quarter showed complete Pointers dominance, as a Chesapeake fumble would be recovered by South Point at the 5-yard line, and Landon Vance on the next play would run the ball in to extend the lead to 19-6 after a failed 2-point conversion attempt. And the turnovers would just keep coming for the Pointers, as Cason Pope would pick off Peyton Muncie's pass with just under a minute left in the half. Now we move to the third quarter. Logan McFadden would help set up the Pointers offense at the 1 after a 57-yard completion from QB Ethan Hunt, and the next play would result in Napier's second touchdown of the game. Although Chesapeake would score, the Pointers would respond with a Cason Pope touchdown on a 4th and 7 to make the score 34-12. And for the rest of the game, South Point would just outplay Chesapeake, and they would finish the game with a score of 41-18.
Of today's game, South Point earns their first conference victory in over 2 years. Here's what Coach Davis had to say about that.
Just everybody coming together. We were very young last year, so a lot of those young guys got experience. So they're taking that experience and running with it. And like I said, everybody's maturing now, so it's contributing to all these games. We've been in some very close games, and I told them, eventually we're going to get one out of this.
South Point will continue conference play next week against Colgrove, while Chesapeake will look for their first win against Gallia Academy. Reporting for Gridiron Glory, I'm Nick Sinclair in Chesapeake, Ohio.